the state and railway authorities indifferent to the sufferings of the locals of a fishing hamlet in Molo. Coal pieces are piling up on a daily basis on the side of the railway tracks and are contaminating the surrounding environment. Locals of these villages are also upset about their traditional right of way being blocked and that they may have to further reconstruct their houses if more land is acquired for double tracking. Watch this special coverage on Herald TV exclusively tonight on Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
I'm Orville from Wellsound, and this is my village, my ancestral village. And we have houses here where people are residing, have been residing along these tracks for generations. The track, the narrow gauge, which was here onto my right, was about 6 or 7 meters away. And when the broad gauge was laid in the 90s, the Southwestern Railway shifted the tracks to by about 6 or 7 meters towards the western side, much closer to the houses. And as a result, the inhabitants of this area had to construct new houses, demolish their old houses and construct new houses, which we will show it eventually. What has happened in this process is now, with the proposal of the double tracks, the railways further want to grab land on the western side. That will mean that the new houses which were constructed in the early 90s will again have to be demolished to make way for the double tracks. Now this is double jeopardy for the villages. Where does the fault lie? What is the benefit of the local populace? Every night we have between 14 to 18 rakes carrying overload of coal. And as you can see, if you go along the tracks, you can see chunks of coal which is visible all along the tracks. So the coal here is polluting our air, our land, our underground water resources, polluting our farmlands, our paddy fields, where production has dropped by more than 40%. And all this entire coast belt has either been dependent for generations on the farmland, coconut farmland, or the traditional rapunkars. Both these communities today are facing the brunt because of this coal. The coal pollution has destroyed our local economy, and we do not know what the double track will, eventually cause us if it does happen. For that particular reason, our entire village, every house in this village is opposing the double tracks tooth and nail. And we again appeal to our state government not to bow down to the pressures of the coal mafia. Okay, we are here at Premier Vado in Wellsound, and here is a very peculiar situation where in the village panchayat in the late 90s they were building this road through RDA, the village panchayat, and when they reached at this point, the railway authorities intervened and they said, don't construct your road because this land belongs to us. Given the situation at that point of time, the panchayat, they were not very, they did not make a deep study. But today, we at Goan Equard, we know what is the story behind this land. This land doesn't belong to the railways. This land is the right of way of the villagers. And the railways have absolutely no say in ownership of this land. Several times we asked RVNL when they came here, show us your papers. They said, no, it's in Hubli, it's in Savande. They are giving us all these vague excuses.
Can you just tell what RVNL is for the
It is Rail Vikas Nigam Limited.
And now what is the status of the road now?
Now, in the last about 6 months back, the Panchayat has put up a proposal to the BDO, I believe, and for the construction. We are waiting for the funds for this to be completed, this road. So this is, during the rains, last time we put, mud and stones so that people could pass through at our own expense, so that the villagers could pass through. And the villagers are living, nightmarish, with the coal dust, okay, being fugitives in their own land. They cannot have proper access to their houses.
And this is the traditional path for people to walk also.
Yes, this is not a path, this is a road.
Road.
My paternal grandfather. It is hardly 10 meters from the existing tracks, and the railways now are claiming that they will construct the tracks within the compound. I mean, this is more than 280-year-old house structure built of stone, lime, and whatever. Can it sustain the vibration? These are heritage houses.
Has any damage been done to the house?
There is, my cousins reside here.
Okay.
My first cousin resides here, and they have been every year they have been putting in maintenance. They're filling up the cracks, things like that.
What is the names?
Dex Rodriguez.
Okay.
So Dex and Sandra Rodriguez. So they reside here with their children, and they are at the mercy of the railways. I mean, even they don't have a proper access to their houses. Okay, the main district road is hardly 20 meters from here. They don't have access to it. See, you can see the stones. Can you pan the camera here? This was the foot, we used to call it, Kokani Estad, we used to call it. This was a stairway to go up. See, they have destroyed all this. These are the stones from this. Everything has disappeared. Another issue what we are facing in the villages is now the tracks are laid at much higher level. It is at least over, I am about 6 or 7 feet high. So when, if at all, if the railways succeed, I mean they will go up to there in the compound. Okay, so most of the houses will be at a lower level above the plinth. And where will the storm water from the village? This is the path for the storm water during the monsoon. This is the only path, there is no other. If you can see, the topography is all sloping towards this on either side.
Has the railway authorities or government done any study to see how the water flows?
Nothing.
All that?
Absolutely no environment assessment has been done. In fact, I have studied in a sense, just went at a glance, because in those report there is mention of some wildlife sanctuaries in Karnataka. Okay, so they have just done a cut copy and paste, and they produce this as a environment impact assessment for Goa section. This is just hogwash. We have all the documents with us, and we have loads of documents at Goan Court. We know how to corner the government and the coal mafia.
And just explain what Goan Court is.
Goan Court was formed on 20th of June 2020, when we understood that we as individuals couldn't, counter the government agencies who are hell-bent on having the double tracks through our pristine villages. There were people from about 36 organizations which got together under the umbrella of Goan Court, and we went across about 84 villages across Goa, creating public awareness about the ill effects of coal, double tracking, Tamnar. Even we spoke about the port at Bethul, which we eventually got it on hold through the intervention of then Deputy CM Babu Kavlekar, who arranged within a few hours he arranged a meeting with the CM, where we educated the CM and his deputy about the ill effects of this port at satellite port at Batul. So this port was supposed to be a hub also for coal dump, where barges possibly would have taken the coal from Mormunga Port Trust, now it is Port Authority, and from there shipped to the jetty at Betul, and it will have destroyed the fishing industry. One of the major hubs of fishing industry is at Betul, rather being at Vasco. So they are least bothered about our local economy. All that they are interested is about how much they can fill their personal pockets.
And you also mentioned about crude oil. They're going to make this a hub for crude oil for transportation.
Yes, we have come to know through some sources, credible sources, that there is intention on the part of the central government to offload crude at Molo. That is why the major acquisition is taking place there. We have asked the authority. They say, the local contractor RVNL, they say we don't know. We have a job to do to lay the tracks. We have no idea what is the intention of that, of the government is. So this is a bay where there is the fish during the monsoon responds here, and you must have heard that the solar catch, where Goa is famous for solar catch. Most of the solar prawn catch is there. Thereafter spawning, the prawns are caught, for their economic value. So they want to destroy everything in their land, our livelihood, which is dependent on coconut. Most of this community here is dependent on the coconut farming. We have farmers here who do paddy cultivation, two crops per year. We have the fishing community. Okay, they fish throughout the year. Even the Raponkas, during even the monsoon, they fish in the inland waterways. So all this thing will come to a complete halt. Today, if you go to our beach, during the monsoons when fish was scarce, we used to, just make small holes in the sand, and we used to catch, get handful of seashells, and then we used to use it to make pulao and stuff like that. Today, you cannot see one live seashell in this. The total organism, there is a total mortality in this. Why is this happening? It is because of the coal dust that has percolated in our waters, not only inland waters but also the outlets. We are here right now at Molo in Pali, which is part of the village panchayat of Velsam Pali Surshi, and we have about roughly around 36 or 37 houses out here. The dwellers are traditional Goankars, fishermen mostly, and some toddy tappers. So here the Southwestern Railway, they have put in the acquisition. The land acquisition is currently under process, and at some sections it is 6 meters, 9 meters, but at here at Molo it is 23.5 meters. Why 23.5 meters is because on my right hand side we have the Arabian Sea, and yes, we understand that there are plans afoot to make this as one of the areas where they will have maybe PAOL jetty or something like that, or to get crude oil, and then from here to be transported to the refinery. One of them, I think, is the Mangalore refinery. In this process, this lovely hamlet that you see here with such a beautiful view of the Arabian Sea on one side and the hillock on the other, all this will be destroyed forever. Where will these people be relocated? There is no such thing as compensation. They are living. Government has not done absolutely nothing for these people except for that road. Other than that, everything, whatever they have done, is on their own, to their own means economically. Government has not done absolutely nothing. Neither the previous Congress government or for the last 10 years, the Congress government. think that any government has done anything. These people are subsisting on their own ways, own means, to fishing industry, to plucking coconuts, toddy tapping. Why destroy? Why destroy the livelihood of these people and put them on the streets? This is a big question mark to us at Goan Port. Behind me is the Arabian Sea, and this is the tributary of the river Sal that we talk about, the lifeline of Salseth, but it originates in Mormongong. This is where the river Sal starts. This is the head of the river. Where the water really comes in, and so right now here we are at Molo, which is under the acquisition process, and we have asked the railways whether they have done the process of getting applying through the GCZME for the CRZ, because any activity other than for the traditional dwellers, everybody has to seek a permission from the local authority regarding the coastal regulations. They are silent about this. What does it mean? It means that they have not even approached the coastal authority, that is GCZME. Now, just being a central government doesn't mean that you can do as you want. You have to abide by the local laws. We have also the local panchayat here. They have built, just down the about a kilometer away, they have built toilet blocks for their personnel in a right of way. This is the only way that has access to the local villages, to their houses. Now there are villages, the houses are blocked. The villages, they have cars, they have scooters, motorcycles. So they are parked right now in somebody else's houses. So is this right that they construct such illegal structures in our right of way?
So wait, the people have to park their vehicles in someone else's house?
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what is happening.
Because they can't park in front of their own houses. That land has been acquired.
The land is not owned by the railways. It is the right of way of the villagers. What has happened is overnight they have built the toilets, and you will be surprised to know that we have one panchayat, probably the entire Goa, which has stood its ground, has issued demolition orders to the BDO, and there was supposed to be demolished 2 days ago, and RVNL, who is the contractor, has got a stay order from the courts. So you understand. So they think just being from the central government, this is a wrong notion that most Goans don't understand. Any party or any authority, whether it's from the center or from the state, has to obtain local self government bodies, that is from the panchayat, permission. It is for you and for me, it's for everyone, right?
ये गाडी राहते आणि दिस होत आहे वर्ण मारित आहे लोक आमपासून जाग जात आहे झुपकून चड फास्ट सारखे आणि वर्ण सामके स्वतः आहे सारखे
आणि
वयत आहे 10 पंप वयत आहे कोळसो गाडी
आणि डबल ट्रॅकिंग
आम नाका म्हणला
चड त्रास
जाता आहे आमगे घर वयत आख्खी लायनी वयता
कितले घर आहे
आमगे विशेष घर आहे ती घर पास वयत आहे सगळी
आखी रातभर गाडी वळताय हिंगा आणि एक एक फाटी थांबताय आणि को ब्रेक मारताय न्हिदेंतले उठताय पोरणां मारताय ते रातीचे न्हिदेंतले उठताय भुरगीं पासून हें जाताय सारकें
भिवून उठताय
हय हिंगा 400 पुलीस हाडले आमकां लोकां सगळे भिवपा येयलोले आनी राहुल गांधी पासून येवन चोयन गेला CM चोयन गेला
आणि पोलीस किती ट्राय केले
पुलीस आमकां हें करताले क्वेश्चन करताले आमी सांगिल्लें तेका आमकां त्रास जाता हिंगा अशें म्हूण
आणि पेपर किती असले
आनी पेपर तांकां कांय ना तांकां दुखून येता नाय आमी जबरदस्तीन हें करताले ते आमी फोर्सा करताले त्रास केले तेणें आमकां जायते डॉक्युमेंट काय ना तेंकडे
आणि लोक सगळे युनायटेड
सगळे लोक आम्ही जमा जायन आमी तांकां धांवडायले.
We are here at Molo, at village panchayat of Valsaung, and we have one treasure here for the chief minister of Goa and his cabinet ministers. I'm going to give this. I'm going to give this call to all the ministers on 30th May. That is supposed to be Goa Statehood Day. A gift from Goinsa High Court. This is what we are going to gift. Each and every minister will get this as a gift from Goinsa High Court, from the people of Molo. Over here we have in Molo a gift which has been collected by the railway personnel themselves. A gift that has come all the way from Australia, and which we are going to gift our Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Pramod Sawant, and his cabinet. Each and every cabinet minister will get a gift. You know when? On Goa Statehood Day. 30th May 2022, Goinsa High Court will gift this to each and every cabinet minister. At this, at least about 1.5 meter from where I'm standing, at the height of 1.5 meters. If at all the railway is going to be, double track is going to be constructed, and I think there are going to be at least 3 to 4 loop lines, as they term it in technical terms. So all this area is going to be backfilled, right up to that house, or you see there, right? The entire village of Molo will be gone. That house might exist, but they will be facing a huge wall of maybe 5 meters. Right? Every morning they wake up, they will not see the sun, they will see the wall.
Aditya Bidre and Carsten Miranda for Herald TV.